I dislike Christian cafes. Next on That's Not My God. Thanks for joining me for another That's Not My God. And, I got to admit, the last couple of weeks I've had a little bit of a script, but I think this week I'm just going to riff a little bit because I don't like Christian cafes. I just, I can't do them. We had one in town, actually two in town within a matter of 3 to 4 years. And one went under the guise of a music shop, which was actually really cool. It was a great cafe. They brought in mainstream acts. I guess you could say secular. And they brought in some Christian ones too. I even brought in lead singer of Petra, John Schlitt, and he did a concert at our church. Then we went over to the cafe to have a question and answer time. That was cool. Unfortunately, they went under, okay? And people, I don't know, for whatever reason. But then this other one came into this awesome cafe, had so much potential, and they named it a churchy name, and it flew under the guise of another church, and they didn't pull any punches. They were a Christian cafe. Now, I looked at that as soon as it went open, and I said, I'll give it a year and a half, maybe. They proved me wrong. It went about 2 years, and I can't do it. And I can't do Christian bookstores. I can't do Christian restaurants. I can't do these things because I've hemmed and hawed a little bit more about it. And as one author put it, Christianity, the word Christian was never meant to be used as an adjective. It's a noun. And an adjective, anytime we put Christian this, Christian that, we end up taking a hard line on where we are in society. And so a lot of people walking into these cafes are like, hey, great place, cool atmosphere, kind of. They play top 40 Christian contemporary music, new. And they get turned off by pretty quick. And what I've found too is that it was spearheaded by one church. And so when I would go in, or with a crew of people that were with me, they were always looking at us as that church. We get that enough in our city as the church I pastor as that church. I just came from a Bible camp literally tonight, and we walked in and there was a few people there that knew me, but they looked at me from the other side of the cafeteria kind of like, I don't know if it was a Living Sacrifice t-shirt or what, but we just get that look, and it's just hard. And when people go into these Christian cafes, these Christian bookstores and stuff, they tend to look at people that aren't Christians as their mission project for that visitation. Now, Christianity, as I said, was never meant to be adjective. Rob Bell has a far better writing on this in his book Velvet Elvis, but it is meant to be noun. You see, I like to say Christian music as well, but even then, isn't it all spiritual? St. Augustine, I believe, said everything is spiritual, and it is. I could throw in something top 40 Christian and absolutely dislike it. And actually, most of the top 40 Christian stuff I will dislike because it's cookie cutter, poor theology, just a lot of different things. But I could throw in Us and Them, Pink Floyd, and get something from it. Not just a EBGB feeling, but get something from it and some kind of message. King's X, I could listen to King's X and get some powerful teachings from their music. And there's a lot of Christian bands as well. But see, even then, Christian bands, it's like, aren't they just music? Aren't they just a band? And everything is spiritual. And so I would just give you a challenge on that, okay? As Christians, what kind of picture are we painting to the world out there? And so this Christian cafe that came and went in our town, I have to associate my name with them. Well, in fact is they have to associate their name with me as well. I've done some boneheaded things in my past as well. But when I worked factory before I became a pastor, there was me and my brother and a couple others that were just kind of cool people to be with. Everybody enjoyed being with us, and we were Christians. They knew I was actually studying to become a pastor. Then there was the hardline conservative Christians that would come around and See, we were allowed to wear headphones because we were building computers that run ventilation systems, HVAC stuff. And they would come around and occasionally ask somebody, hey, what are you listening to? And somebody said, Metallica, or, the local hard rock station. They would get preached to. And I was just sat there like, I don't want to have to associate with that. They're giving me a bad name. And like I said, sometimes I can give other Christians a bad name. So let's be careful what we label as Christian, okay? It's not an adjective. It's a way of life. Paul said this in 1 Corinthians 10:31. Therefore, whether I eat or drink, or whatever I do it all for the glory of God. Something to think about. To label things Christian and to say Christian cafe, Christian restaurant, that's not my God. Email me your thoughts. Have a great day.